Okay, guys, welcome to the bi-weekly Team Perseverance Team Call. I'm just going to make sure everybody is muted. Hold on one second, guys, so we have no background noise. All right, we're getting started on our team call. It is May 18th. Holy cow, we are halfway through the month of May. Really excited about today with the launch of Mixberry Energize. We just spoke about how it broke the internet, it feels like, because it crashed in the middle of the day because of the launch. But this week's team call, we have a really special guest, one of our own that hit diamond, so we're going to get into that shortly. But for any new coaches, welcome to the team call. I'm David Atkins. This is Kristen Atkins, and this is where we come together twice a month to go over news, training, announcements, recognition, and either a training topic or one of our coaches speaking on the call as we are tonight. So I'm really excited. So let me share my screen and let's get this team call started. All right, let's see here. Okay, so first and foremost, any new coaches, you may be asking, what do I do now that I'm a new coach? I'm on the team call. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is on the Team Perseverance team page, go to the top page. On the top of the page is an announcement post that is pinned to the top. It's not removed. And there's an easy post to follow along in order and the things that you need to do to get yourself started. There is a new coach starter guide. There's a page with a couple of welcome videos that you will go through. We have a recording of a Getting Started Right call that we did recently with a bunch of new coaches that will help you go over what you need to do to get started in your business. And there's even new coach basics training. That's about a 17-day training or whatever. You could do it in one day if you want, but it's about doing an assignment a day. It's on the announcement page as well. You can follow that along and do a new new assignment each day. And Kristen's going to be talking about something, a one-stop shop that we have for you can get access to many of the documents you need to be successful as a coach. So, calls, meetings, and webinars. Today was the National Wake Up Call, which is always every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern. I thought this was an amazing call. I watched the recording. Tate Cox is a diamond coach, and he's one of the coaches of Scotty Hobbs. For all of our men coaches on the team or wives, spouses that are looking in the business, you definitely want to follow this call because Tate did a great job on the National Wake Up Call.
And not to mention that he mentioned Dave twice. He was like, well, from last time Dave's National Wake Up Call, I took this script.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's how we learn.
Funny. That's how we learn, right?
That's how we learn. Totally cool. Push goals, new leader conference. You got to be a 1-star by the end of this year. You have to, by December 31st, to be an elite coach, you have to be a 5-star with 105 leadership points by the end of the year, and premier is 75 leadership points and 2-star by the end of the year. I think there's some coaches on this team, you know who you are, that can absolutely hit one of the, all three of these things. New leader conference, hit elite coach. If you really push, it's May. We have 7 months, and premier coach. And one of them is looking down at her phone holding a pink pen. I will move to the next slide. Team Perseverance Rising Stars. This is team volume leaders in May. Absolutely amazing. Shout out to these people that have at least 200 team volume points so far for the month of May. And guys, team volume again is the volume produced by your coaches that you sponsor in your left and right legs. Okay. All stars, these are coaches with at least 500 team volume or more. And then the legends for this time of month, Kristen sits there by herself with 1,498 team volume points.
I'm all alone. Somebody needs to join me.
All right, guys, this is a special announcement. I hope everybody is paying attention. So I'm doing a little bit of a drum roll. All right, so Kendra Hall was, in fact, supposed to be the keynote speaker for Coach Summit in July. Kristen and I got to see her. I think we were with Devon, I'm going to call her, at Leadership 2 years ago.
AKA Devon.
She was,
don't know who that is.
She was the speaker. The keynote speaker then. She's going to speak at Summit. Amazing. Her book, Stories That Stick, I think is amazing because this is why. I'll be honest. The reason why this book is so good is because there are people that put posts up and they just put up a whatever post. Like, I did my workout. Great. Like, it's like a who cares post. And there's people that tell the story behind the workout, that tell maybe what they had to overcome to get the workout in, how they feel, where they are going in the workout. And that's telling your story. And her book is about how telling good stories can grow your business exponentially. This book is amazing. So she's going to be on a call, special call for us next Tuesday, 8:15 p.m. Eastern time, this Zoom. We have 300 spots on the Zoom call. I had to up my Zoom. I invited some of the other team friends that I have that are leaders to get their teams are, because I told Kendra I would get 150 people on the call through Instagram messaging back and forth. So I'm excited about this, guys. You want to be on this call. And at the end, we're going to have a special appearance with one of our own, Kendra Paul, Beachbody Challenge finalist. Why? Because voting starts soon. And what better way to showcase her than on the call when we'll have a lot of people on for Kendra next Tuesday night. So save the date. You do not want to miss this call.
And guys, hold on. And guys, when the week of voting begins, the first week of June is our voting period. That's it. It's 1 week. Everybody can vote every day for one male and one female. It's going to be through the Beachbody Challenge link. We'll send it out. Right now, Kendra is doing a bunch of calls. We have a call tomorrow night with our upline. She has a call scheduled with Christina Delgado's team, Diesel Nation. We have this Kendra Hall call with Kendra Paul. Don't you guys think that's weird? Kendra Hall and Kendra Paul, like that's weird, right? Anyway, it's to get her story out there because voting is the first week of June. When we have our next team call that first week of June, I believe it actually falls on June 1st, we're actually going to be asking you guys to be doing a watch story of the call, because we're going to have Kendra talking about her story and asking people to vote on that team call. So can you imagine the impact if we all are, go to Dave's page and do a watch story and everybody watch party, and everybody has more eyes on Kendra to get more votes for her. We're going to need to work together as a team. I hope I can rely on you guys for that to help Kendra get, every vote counts. So she's working really hard behind the scenes right now, doing things with the people outside of Beachbody to share her story, because that's really what it's about. The best story wins. And that's kind of how perfectly this lined up with Kendra Hall, because it really is all about the story. And Kendra Hall has an incredible story. So just going to need all hands on deck to help with that. And I hope you will.
All right, guys, the team-wide virtual workout. We've been doing this consistently since this pandemic started. Every Saturday at 9:30, we give a suggested workout. We go live on this Zoom. We do the workout together. We cheer each other on at the end. It's amazing energy. You all need to be there. We all need to get our butts up out of bed. 9:30 is actually like 4 hours into my day normally. So get up, get for the workout. We'll be doing it again this Saturday at 9:30 a.m. All right. So we're doing AMP again, Advanced Mentorship Program, coming back in June. I announced it like in, I think, February or March for the requirements to get in for April. And then I was completely absent. Thank God for Kristen and Lindsay that basically led it, right? Because I was in the middle of the thick with this COVID-19 in New York City. So I did not to get part of it. I'm hoping that I can be available in June because I really love helping the leaders and people that want to grow. So to be in AMP, you have to be an Emerald coach by the end of this month, okay? In May, you have to have 4 active coaches that you personally sponsored in your downline, and you have to hit Success Club this month. Those are the minimum requirements to be in AMP for the month of June. You want to talk about that a little bit?
So actually what we're going to talk about tonight is from AMP. So I'll get into it when I go to talk.
Okay.
But you guys, this is the month to work to get your butt into AMP in June.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let you talk on this.
All right. So this Wednesday, we have a team-wide flash sale. Now, originally the flash sale was supposed to line up perfectly with the launch of Mixed Berry, which was today, and Wednesday was supposed to be the launch of the Weekender kit that they were going to be having. But because The Recover is on back order or not is out of stock. The Weekender kit is being pushed back to June. So I kept the flash sale date because that's the date we gave you. So the flash sale group is in our coach page. It's actually an old group that we had done other flash sales in, so I kept it open. I'm going to go live in it tomorrow to explain how it's going to work. But basically on Wednesday, a few coaches are going to go live in there to share and highlight a particular package. Like for example, Melanie's going to be talking about how much she loves the refresh. And you know, that'll be one of the packages. So we'll have Wednesday to go over all the packages. We're only going to do like 4. We're keeping it very basic, but the challenge pack is one of them because they're $20 off. So this is your opportunity to try to hit Success Club if you haven't. This is your opportunity to add current coaches to the group because it's a great volume push. And of course, to add prospects to the group. Anybody, maybe even who has said no to you about doing challenge groups, they may be interested in buying collagen or trying the mixed berry or doing a refresh. It's a great way to help customers in general. So we will be doing a prize raffle giveaway come Friday for the people who place their orders. And I'll go over this in the group. For anybody who places their orders between Wednesday and Thursday of this week, they have to share a picture order confirmation, obviously as proof, under that post that they ordered that, and then their name will go into the raffle. And certain packages, like for example, the challenge pack, will be able to get your name in more times than if they just got mixed berry, let's say. So I'll go over all that in the group, but your job as the coach is to be in the group, A, to be participating, B, and C, to be inviting to it. Why are you laughing? He's making fun of me. All right. So
yeah. Melanie knows exactly why. A, B, and C.
You should not have a married couple run a business together.
Off to the races. So we're
this
doing
is amazing.
This is going really, really well. This is basically a private message thread that anybody that's on the board with Success Club, doesn't matter your rank, new coach, emerald, whatever it is, we're in a private chat group, and it's for people to come together, bounce ideas off, and strive together to hit Success Club. We're adding new people each week.
You just have to let us know if you have your points.
Right. Let us know, tag us, or send us a private message. We'll put you in the thread right away, and then when June 1st hits, it's wiped clean, and we start it all over again. But it's such a great little forum for people to be growing together.
It's awesome.
All right, what's new? Guys, this is hot off the presses. About Coach Summit going virtual. So I would listen up, okay? It's going to be called Coach Summit Better Together Week. So each session is likely going to be between 60 and 90 minutes. This just literally came out an hour ago. To the leaders, it's going to be going out network-wide by end of the week. So each session is 60 to 90 minutes. Thursday, July 16th, they'll do opening general session at 11 a.m. Pacific. Friday the 17th, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, which is like 7:30 Eastern. They'll do the Beachbody Challenge and Success Stories winners. Saturday the 18th, they're going to do general session again. And then Saturday the 18th at night, they'll do the celebration where they pick the Beachbody Challenge winner that Kendra's going to be part of. So guys, I'm glad they're doing something. They're working on the platform because they're not going to be able to do it on Zoom. I don't know what their plan is, but stay tuned for details. But I took the week off and planned on being there, as many other people did. So now I'm just going to carve the time out to be doing this from home, right? So excited about that. All right, as we all know, Mixed Berry Beachbody Performance Energized was released today. I highly encourage you to get it. Even if you're not a huge Mixed Berry fan, get it to share about it, because maybe the people that you're talking to would be interested in Mixed Berry.
And get the packets so you can send them out as free samples too.
100%. And do it before it sells out in back orders. The Weekender kit is being delayed until June 8th. I was excited about that. The Summer Strong Sale, guys, the honest truth here, challenge packs are $140 right now. Like, it's honestly a joke. And for $140 for what they're getting for an all-access, 12 months access to Beachbody On Demand, a month of Shakeology, a challenge group, it's just amazing. Leverage that. Feel confident in that price. People I'm finding online, seeing threads, people are spending thousands and paying ridiculous amounts in shipping. Well, they were until it's all back ordered for home gym equipment. I was just on the call with my neighbor the other day. He's talking about working out. He says he was trying to, he bought $2,400 in home gym equipment. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Home gym equipment, but it's back ordered. He can't get it. But people will balk at a challenge pack of 140.
Wait, you didn't invite him?
I've done before. Yeah. So it always is never a price objection. It's a value objection. When you sell it like the value they're getting, you rarely get a price objection. So remember that it's 140. And here we are.
Before we go to Nicole.
Before we go to Nicole, you want to share that other thing, right? Okay, guys, hold on. I got to share something else.
Any questions? Anything in the chat?
Let's see.
Chat's empty.
Chat is empty. You guys
are quiet. What's up with that? Okay. Before we hop into Nicole, I'm just going to go through this really quick. So in AMP, what we did is when Lindsay and I, got together to talk about AMP, we really talked about the fact, like we had listened to a call that Kim Carver had done on the Masterminds right before that. And he was like, listen, there's 3 main systems that you have to have in place for your team to be successful so that they can duplicate. Guys, the whole main point of being in network marketing is to hand over, resources to your team so they see it's not that hard. B, they can duplicate themselves, right? So we wanted AMP to be where we dive into the 3 main systems of coaching, and there's a lot of like little things that stem off of it. So that way the people who leave AMP are very well equipped with all of their systems in place for their teams going forward, so they can just hand it off to their coaches and say, here you go. This is what you do when you're inviting. This is how you share the coaching opportunity. This is how you get your new coach started right. And so that's what we dived into for the 4 weeks we were together. Now, I wanted to bring all of this information to the team as a whole. And right now it's going to be done in pieces because we're going to be using a Trello board. And I have to thank Nicole Clark, who's going to be speaking soon, for reminding me that this is such a great idea and how to visually see all of our systems and everything, every resource you need to know as a coach will be on this Trello board.
Hold on.
What?
What is a Trello board, Kristen?
It's this.
So why don't you explain what a Trello board is? Because this, to me, what is it?
So if you guys use Mompreneur, she actually has her information set up this way. It's basically like a bulletin board, a virtual bulletin board where you can like list all different, they call them cards, but like all different categories under a main category. So if you look on my screen, I have inviting and I have all these different tabs under inviting. So if a new coach comes in and they open up the Trello board and they're like, what do I do when I want to invite? First, they'll look at the 5-step invitation process. The video's right here for them to see. Okay. Then, I don't know how to invite. What do I say? Oh, look, here's sample invites. And, we gave a few different sample invites. It's basically everything you need to know in one place on how to invite. And then steps before inviting. Oh gosh, how do I even talk to people? Okay, here's what you do on Instagram. Here's what you do on Facebook, boom, boom, boom. And it's basically like clip notes for you. This will not replace going into Coach Basics, but this is where everything will be a one-stop shop. Third-party tools to share when you are inviting. So here, then we just use, the Vimeo Total Solution video or the Ever Feel Like This video right there for you. Then graphics. Okay, people were interested, now what? Here are a bunch of different graphics to show the prices of different challenge packs. Just take one, pick whichever one you like. And again, this is fluid, so we can continue adding and taking things out as we go, which is the great part about this. But this is just where we're starting. So here you go. You're like, oh my God, what do I send them? They want to know how much it is. All right, send them the challenge pack graphic and tell them which one you think that they should pick. Oh my God, I got to send a share cart. How do I send a share cart? Well, here you go. Here's a little tutorial on how to use share cart so you know how to do it. Then going further, okay, I have a new challenger. What do I do? So in here, we have the link for the Mompreneur welcome guide that new challengers will get. Oops. sorry, not supposed to go to Facebook, that new challengers will get, when they sign up. So you can click there and you can send that. We also have the new challenger getting started right PDF. And this is what you would do on a call with them right before they start. You ask their why, you set the goals, you go over fitness, nutrition. All of these little guides are here for you guys to use as a reference. I lost it. Where the hell did it go? Down here. Sorry, guys. Just went away. I hope they can see the screen now. Why don't you go back? Okay. Can you guys see the Trello board?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's that. Then the coach invite script before you use share a cart. That's here too. What do you say to somebody if you want to invite them to coaching before you actually send the share a cart, which I do highly recommend. Give them the option to sign up as a coach before you send the share a cart. Worst case is they say no, and that's okay. Then they're still your customer. But here is the script for that you can send and personalize. Then there's a weekly check-in list that we created. So that way, when you're checking in with your challengers, you'll pick the day. Okay, let's say every Friday will be when I check in with my challengers. And you can print this out and you can actually list all your challengers here. And there are some sample questions that you can ask them after each week and mark off the weeks as you do it so you know that you've been in touch with them. Because again, under inviting, the main system that we were actually really focusing on was customer retention. How do you get a customer started right out of the gate? And then how do you retain them over time? And it really is giving them an amazing experience with you. So these are all the things that you can use. How do I get out of this? I don't want to close it again. Okay. All right. Then we go on to the exit video and follow-up email. I'm not going to go through it, but the exit video that you would post in your challenge group at the end of every single month. Dave and I have one that we made, which is the one I shared with you, but go ahead and make your own. So you make it your own for your own team. And then there's a follow-up email that's already written for you to send out to your prospective coaches after that. And then here we just list some customer retention ideas. And again, we can continue adding to this as coaches say, hey, this is a great idea. Because you really, at the end of the day, you want your customers to stay with you. You want them to become believers. You want them to become coaches. So this is the inviting customer retention and acquisition part of the Trello board. I will be sharing this with the team. And like I said, I'll be adding to it week after week until we get all the systems and everything we need. All the resources will be on here eventually. And it's just a great resource for our entire team to pull from. So you guys don't have to think. When you sign up new coaches, you can just direct them, hey, we have this Trello board. It's all set up. Everything that you need as a new coach will be on there for you in one place. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay. I saw some questions in the chat, I think. I'm in love with this. It's like an online learning classroom. Yeah, it is. I love this. This is such an amazing information, amazing tools. I love the setup with Trello. Excited to have this as a tool.
So guys, just to recap on that, this is going to go on the team page, but I don't want new coaches to get overwhelmed because it's going to go in the announcement post. My recommendation is they go in, they watch the beginning videos, which is step one. They make sure they're in a challenge group. That they get on the recording of a new coach call unless you want to do one with them, which goes over the new coach starter guide, right? And then from there, they go through coach basics. That will teach them the foundation. Then as a reference guide, they have this. Because I know if they see everything at once, I know people, oh my God, take it through the steps. You guys that are on here that have been coaches, even for a month, 2 months, 3 months, this is an unbelievable resource that this was evolved during AMP. Some of you may not have seen this yet because when they were doing AMP, this started coming up. Like, we need something like this for the team. So the Emeralds working towards Diamond and Lindsay and Kristen, with the assistance of Nicole, decided to put this together. Just kind of like I put up a new Coach Basics 2 weeks ago. As the business evolves, we will push it out. And it was a good time to build this as they were building things in AMP to help these people succeed.
Right. But I know a lot of times when coaches are like, where can I find this? Is there a script for this? Is there something for this? Like you can be like,
Yeah.
listen, there's a whole inviting section. It's all labeled nice and neat for you. And Nicole did her own Trello board, and she even has like, even more like, how to handle objections and things like that. You could add as much as you want to it. So this will be a work in progress, but this will be a great resource for our teams to all dive into and use. And again, you can take whatever's on there and create your own version of it for yourself. But it's just it's all the meat and potatoes. Any questions on that before we move on? No?
I know that on Nicole's, like, she shared it with me, and we had to make a new one because if I did something in it, I would have been ruining hers. Like, the one that's on the team page, is that going to be whatever we do to it, it's not going to affect it, or is it going to be adding, you know what I'm saying? Is it going to be adding to it?
I think that you're able to edit it, which I don't want people to be able to do.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I can actually answer that. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So when we create the Trello board, we have to convert it to a template so that those that are utilizing it, they can't edit it. And then you can share the template. So it is doable.
Okay. So that's what we shall do. And then we'll continue to add to it. All right. So any other questions about the Trello board or that? Definitely way too much. Okay. Okay, good. I'm glad you guys like it. Thank you. And thank you to Nicole for sharing that with me. All right, so let's get into Nicole. All right, so I think most of you guys know who Nicole is. She's been with us for a while now, but for those of you who don't know much about her background, she lives in beautiful Sacramento, California. She has two beautiful sons. Daniel is 8 and Colton is 5. She's married to, I think you said he was her high school sweetheart, Matt? You dated him on and off throughout high school? So they've been together for 17 years, but they've been married for 11, right? Something like that. Married 11, a lot. They've been married for 11 years, and Nicole and her family are very outdoorsy. They're very adventurous. They love to go camping and dirt biking. She's a true boy mama in every sense of the word. She's into gardening, which she needs to teach me. And she is just a gem. And if anybody really knows her, she's the one that people are going to asking all questions. She's your go-to. She's like, I can help you. I can help you. She helps everybody. And she's very savvy with technology, so she's been helping me. But anyway, so a few months ago, things clicked for Nicole, and I feel like I saw like a light bulb go on in her head, and she just was like, I'm going for this. Like I've been around a long time. I'm making this happen, and she made it happen. And we set the goal for Diamond, and that was the first milestone. And now, we're pushing for 1-star to 2-star, but she's going to share her story with you and how she got involved in Beachbody. And to know Nicole is to love Nicole. So let's give her a real big welcome and listen to her story.
Hold on, I can't hear you.
Hold on, you're muted.
I just unmuted.
Okay.
Perfect.
I said that was a little dramatic. So my story, I just want to tell you a little bit of how I came into Beachbody first and foremost, because it is kind of a funny story. So my situation was I joined a gym. Well, first for any of you women out there that are pushing 40, bridge that gap of 40, we start to change. Our bodies change. Things get harder to lose and harder to things get a little softer. So I hit this point in my life, and it was like all of a sudden I was 20 pounds heavier, and I was completely unable to manage it. So I joined a gym. I tried these crazy diets. I tried all these things that just weren't working. And so this went on for probably about 6 or 7 months. So then I decided the gym's not working. I'm going to try to work out from home. So I started following things on YouTube that were just random videos that were here and there that at least got me moving, but obviously still not getting results. And so then I start Instagram, which I'd never done. Guys, I had no clue. I had Facebook, barely, but Instagram was such a foreign thing to me. And then I find little Miss Kristen showing her workouts online. I was like, who's this? And following her longer and longer, I realized we're around the same age. She was a mom, was a stay-at-home mom. And so I just started engaging in her account, and I actually started doing the workouts that she was doing at home, not knowing it was a beach body thing. I just said, oh, she's, lifting weights today. I'm going to go do these lifts, and I didn't even do a whole program. It wasn't like I was doing reps or anything. I just thought she looked good. So if she's like doing 10 push-ups, I'm just going to do 10 push-ups and that'll suffice, which is so not the case. So eventually we got in contact with each other, and I can't even remember how, but she invited me to a challenge group. I said, okay. I remember I was camping that weekend and still doing my workouts that she was doing. And so I said, let me get through this trip. And when I get back, we'll talk about it again. Well, I signed up, and I actually tried to tell her, no, I'll just do the quarterly bod. And she's like, all right, but then you don't get me. And I said, yeah, you're right. Okay. Well, 2 weeks later, I decided to go all in. And the funny part of it was that once I did convert after the 2 weeks to a challenge pack, I was also started posting my own workouts, because I thought that as a challenger, I had to post my own workouts. I wasn't even a coach yet. I just was putting it out there because that's what I thought I had to do. Anyway, so long story short, eventually she says, why don't you just do this with me? And I said, what? And she's like, the coaching thing. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. And anyway, now I'm a coach. It's almost 2 years later, more than 2 years since I started following Kristen. And yeah, I'm Diamond. I'm sitting at Diamond today and ready to take on the world. So that's my story. I thought that this thing was freaking amazing. If you all know me, I love to take all the knowledge I possibly can and absorb it as quickly as I can. So once I started coach training, I was like, I got to get this done. I'm going to do it. Here we go. I'm doing all of it. And I tried to get in and get it done as quickly as I could. Well, that kind of was a good thing, because it means just I'm insatiable and I will always want to learn. So I felt like if I hit the ground running and I gorged on that training, that I would just get there faster. And so here's what happened. I started getting results, guys, like within a couple months. I dropped the weight, and I wasn't on a crazy diet. I was drinking Shakeology every day. I was doing my performance line every day, and the weight just dropped off. And these programs were freaking hard. And I remember doing them and calling or texting Kristen and saying, this was just too hard. I don't want to do this anymore. But I didn't stop. She said, don't stop. Don't, just keep going. Modify if you have to. So I didn't stop. And I remember finishing Transform 20, or first it was Lift 4, and then Transform 20. I cried both times. And it was because Transform 20 kicked my freaking ass. Sorry for the language. It kicked my ass, but I also got the best results ever. So that's my big transformation story. A little bit about the business side of things. I, like I said, jumped in with both feet. I'm looking at my notes here so I stay on track, otherwise I'll ramble. And immediately, because I was getting those results and sharing, I started seeing this traction. Like my Instagram starts growing, and like people are looking at my stories and people are wondering what I'm doing. And it was really because I was sharing my journey every single day that I feel like I was able to move forward with the business. I got to Emerald rather quickly because, as we know, as new coaches, that's your first place that you want to get to. And so the first thing I did was I added my husband. He didn't have a choice. And then that was my first client. I had 2 other friends that wanted to join me because they saw what I was doing, and they were my first 2 other coaches that weren't my husband. And so immediately, I think within the first month, I was Emerald. So that happened really quickly. What I found, though, was a struggle for me was staying consistent. So I wasn't getting to Diamond as quickly as I wanted to. I wasn't getting to where I wanted to be. And I feel like the struggles that I had were just areas of opportunity where I needed to learn really how to immerse myself in this business and learn this business and every aspect of it before I could get to the next point. And I feel like I got there because it was my time. It was like I said, I know everything I need to know at this point, and I am going to make this happen. I can't even remember when it was, March, that we said, okay, here's my date. And I did it. And I even told one of my other friends, Kristen, that's on here, I said to her, guys, I don't want you to use this as an example because this is my mindset. I said, I don't care if I don't hit Success Club this month, I'm getting diamond. That's what I said to her. I said, I'm doing this. And that very next week, I was done. I said, it doesn't matter, I'm doing it. And then that very next week, I hit diamond, and I also got my husband up and running, and I hit Success Club. And so those are the things, those consistent behaviors of wanting to grow and wanting to strive for something bigger, I think is what decided for me, or decidedly made me a diamond. So initially I feel like I failed. I wasn't ready, and I failed because I wasn't ready, and I failed because it wasn't my time. But in the end, it was just those behaviors that you have to practice every single day, your 3 vital behaviors to get to where the growth portion happens. I think that using the products helped me. Obviously, inviting every day. You have to, guys. If you're new to coaching, you have to invite in every single way possible, whether it be for personal referrals, inviting on Instagram, inviting on Facebook, whatever the case is, you have to do this every day and follow up and use systems to track that, because that's huge. My son's outside of my door, wondering why it's locked and ignoring him. The other thing is, do your personal development, do your business development reading, because there are keys and components that we just will never entirely know unless you're continually evolving. And I think it's really important to know that there are people that are so good at this, and to emulate them and to follow them and to learn what they're doing and the things that they're doing, that's what's going to help you be successful as well. The other thing is, one other thing that we don't always talk about, recognize your people, take care of your people, make sure that you're building those relationships, because this business is not transactional, and you will not succeed if it's transactional. You have to make sure that your heart is put into it and put into your people just as much as you're putting your heart into your business, because they are what is going to help drive your business. They're going to be your referral base. They're going to be the people that bring new blood into the system as well. Go. Oh, these kids. The other thing is, I wanted to talk, Kristen and Dave referenced the technology side of things. I love technology, and it's something that if you are able, you don't have to use it, but you need to have some sort of base to track your business and make sure you're doing your follow-ups and talking to people and continuing to add new people to your systems. And talk about it. Just talk about it. That's all you have to do. That's your job, is to talk about your journey, what you're doing, and how amazing our systems are, and how amazing Beachbody and our products are. So that's all I have. I'm open to questions if y'all have any.
I love it, Nicole. I love your story. If I remember, you said no to me at first.
Yeah, because I was like, I didn't want to spend the money.
Yeah.
I didn't. I was like, but it was an objection. I was like, when I look back, it was like I was the perfect candidate to be recruited. Like I verbatim went through every objection that we have, or that we hear, and it was like the perfect conversation. Every objection, everything, step by step was, kind of funny.
Cool. So what was the flip of the switch from when you were hanging at Emerald for a long time to all of a sudden it happened? What did you do different? Like, there's a lot of coaches on this team that have been sitting at Emerald for a long time and feel like, I don't get it. I should be Diamond. What was it that you, now looking back, said, all right, this was the difference?
I said, excuse the language, I said, F it. I'm sick of sitting here like this. I'm sick of feeling like I'm having to make excuses every time I don't hit Success Club every month. And I was spinning my wheels a lot on wasteful things. Like, I don't need to have all the pretty flyers to put out on my Instagram. That's just a time suck. I need to be having conversations and I need to be following up. And I said that there was that. And then also I was sick of waiting on people that were like, oh, I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you. Because if there's one thing I know, that people that do want to commit to something will make the decision to commit to it. And if they're not, don't waste your time on them. It sounds harsh, but I want people that are like me, that are decisive, that want to do the work and want to better themselves. So once I started looking for those people and talking to those people, things changed.
I love
Yeah.
it. So you
You
started
took ownership.
ownership. You started inviting and following up more, and you did the business building activities instead of managing your business.
Right. I built. And I went back to using my bat, guys. That was like, I stopped using it because I didn't think I needed it anymore. But I was like, it makes your business simple, because it really lines out for you what you need to do for however given amount of time a day. It's like 15-minute segments. You can have your whole day done in an hour if you choose to. So.
Team, what questions you have for Nicole? Put them in the chat or raise your hand up if you have a question. If you don't have a question, then everybody should be diamond by Thursday this week, because we're all killing it and ready to go and rock it. I mean, we're all learning. Oh, Griffin has a question. Hold on, I got to unmute.
He's talking to himself.
No, I'm not.
You got to unmute you, Griffin. You got to
Go ahead,
unmute
Griffin.
yourself.
Got it.
Yeah.
Hey, no, this is just a good question, because Nicole, you are super good, like Kristen and Dave said, at like the technical side of stuff, and how like your systems are based, and how like you have things done and set up. Can you delve deeper into that, like your passion into that? Like how did that drive you to like develop some of these people that you have to go from, oh, I just came on as a coach, to an emerald at this point? Or how do you have things set up to go forward?
Well, I really feel like I was getting to that point once I started in the AMP program, which was huge, guys. I already had a love of technology, and if I didn't know something, I Googled it. And I think it takes, you have to be able to take initiative and want to learn. Like I said, do your business development, do your personal development. So take the initiative to learn how to do things on your own, so that you can play it forward and pay it forward and help, like what we're doing with this Trello board, like make sure that those systems are in place for you to move it forward to your staff, or to not your staff. Sorry, I'm not in corporate anymore. Make it put forward to your coaches in your downline. Trina's on the call tonight. She's one of my coaches, and we're just now getting to the point where she's already emerald, but we're really getting to the point of helping her have the tools to move forward. And now that these systems are all in place, it'll be a lot easier for her to do that. So it's take the initiative, learn something new. If you don't, I said this earlier, if you don't know something, find somebody who does that can help you.
Question, Megan. I still struggle to get new viewers on Instagram stories. Any suggestion with hashtags and content? Oh, let me back. Well, let's add to that one and we'll go back.
Hashtags in every post that you do. You want to be engaging with as many followers as you can every single day. Watching other people's stories, making sure to look at other major sites. I think Lindsay does this as well. I think Megan, we've talked about this before too, which Megan, yeah. Just follow a key account that you know has an amazing tribe of followers that you can relate to, and try to connect with them as well. And make sure you're introducing yourself. Don't just go on and hack into people's Instagram and make them be like a, like you're just a creepy stalker looking at their stuff. Make sure you're engaging with them and sending the intros.
Let me tell you guys something I did today, and Nicole, that's awesome. And guys, this is the first time I did this. And I knew it was out there, but I actually took action and spent an hour today in doing it. I went to Instagram. I'll use the hashtag DodBomb, for example, right? I search that hashtag. Below that hashtag, Instagram gives you recommended hashtags that are similar to that. You know, strong dad, fit dads, whatever it is. And I clicked on them and I looked for ones that were less than 1 million, but at least like a couple 100,000. And then I built Instagram lists to put in my post. But then I did something else. I then followed. It allows you to follow that hashtag so that then I can easily go to my homepage. I can click on who I'm following. And when you click on who you're following, it lists all the hashtags you're following. You can easily click on that and see all the people that are using that hashtag during the day and quickly find a lot of accounts. And then like Nicole said, you start engaging with them. They're going to in turn start watching you. Guys, it's an easy process. This is where people don't spend most of their time. It's in the finds and the building relationships, hands down. So that's something I just did today, and I built some good hashtags for all my posts. So just something to think about.
Hey, Dave, real quick. So I've done that too recently because Melanie Yoakum on one of our power hours. And if y'all aren't joining some of the power hours, you should.
Yeah.
You should make flat out time for that. And I know people have stuff going on. We all have stuff going on, but we are offering power hours every single day. But Dave, let me ask you this. So as soon as you did that, if I posted and hashtag them, do I show up on their feed doing that, or have to be like sponsored to show up on a feed? Because most of them,
No.
So
I got introduced to this through Melanie Yoakum. She was on one of our calls. I said, like, she was like, follow them, like them. And I have, and they've showed up in my feed all the time. And I've followed many people through that. So do my posts show up like that if I tag them?
There's a couple different answers. So first off, the reason why they're coming up on your stuff is because you started engaging with them, and it's the algorithm of Instagram saying, okay, Griffin is engaging with these people. He probably is interested in them. So we're going to put their post on his feed. That's the reason why you're seeing their post.
Oh, okay.
In terms of hashtags, that's because people, including myself, I'm going on those hashtags to find people that are using them that are similar posts to posts that I put up. You know, like Girl Dad became very big with Kobe Bryant, and now it's at like 500,000 posts use Girl Dad. And I went on there, and there's a lot of other dads that just have daughters, and I'm finding some good dads on there. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to use that hashtag, hoping people find me when they look at that hashtag.
Yeah.
It's a way for you to find. Has nothing to do with sponsor, nothing to do with your post coming up more because you use it. It's all a search filter that you can find people, they can find you. And when you find people, it's a quick way to find people, and then you to engage with them to now add people to your list. And then when you start commenting and liking and engaging on their stuff, Instagram's going to automatically recognize you're engaging with them, and then their posts are going to start showing up on your feed because you're showing interaction with them.
Yeah, I feel you. And that might be a separate talk.
I feel you too. Who else for
Any
Nicole?
other questions for Nicole? Wait, we had some in the chat.
Oh yeah, let me go back to the chat. Hold on here.
You really want to hit diamond, but your posts get no traction. What do you suggest we do? You go to people's houses and you shake them, and you be like, "Why aren't you commenting on my posts?"
I think one thing, Instagram obviously works with a logarithm, and it's something that's beyond any knowledge that we truly will ever have. So it is about your activity on Instagram, how often you're posting, making sure that you're responding to any likes and anyone that is commenting on your posts. If people are messaging you or looking at your stories, make sure you're messaging them and saying thanks for checking things out, or, you know, make sure you're doing your own part for engagement. You can't assume that just because you're posting something out there that it's going to work. Another thing is to go back to the hashtags. One thing I learned a while back is the type of hashtags you use have to be worthy. You don't want to have like all the major hashtags. Like if you're saying just hashtag workout, you're going to get lost. You're not going to be seen. So you want to create your hashtags in 3 stages. You want like maybe 10 of them to be bigger accounts, like no more than 100,000 followers or 100,000 posts in the hashtag. Then you want a second level that is between, I think, no more than 20 to 30,000, and then your lower level should be no more than 10 to 15,000. So 3 different types of hashtags, and make sure that they're relative to what your avatar is and to what your type of client that you want to attract is, and relative to the post that you're doing. So for example, I have like fitness hashtags already created. I have food hashtags because I share food a lot. I have boy mom hashtags, dirt biking, like I have all these created already. So depending on the post type I use, I go ahead and use those hashtags.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Let me see. Do you use any kind of system or program to grow your followers?
Just what I've just talked about, really. It's engaging with others. Oh, and sometimes this is a little hack, guys, and it doesn't, you know, I'm really about my integrity, and I don't want my business to be transactional, but given the logarithm that we're dealing with, sometimes like if I get in the shower, I will leave my phone on, make sure that it doesn't go to suspend or sleep. And I'll just have my stories playing while I'm doing dishes or in the shower, doing something where I don't need to pay attention to it, because it's causing engagement on other accounts, which means they're more likely to engage with you.
Whoa,
That's a good
a
one.
golden nugget. Everybody.
I've done that, but by accident. And I'm like, oh God, the stories keep running. So annoying.
Yeah.
I like that.
That is
Boom.
good.
Call over. Good night.
Mic drop.
Mic
Mic
drop.
drop. I like that.
That was a good one.
Anybody else?
I know that Nicole is very organized, and she'll work on Beachbody Monday through Friday, and then the weekend she spends time with her family, but on Sundays is her day to play with her systems to try to work them out. And I know that as I've been talking to Nicole a lot, I can easily get wrapped up, and I get so excited with all her systems and new things that she does, and I just want to do that all week and not do anything else, but that's not going to grow my business. So I think being organized and finding a day to do like those special things like building your systems. I mean, it's a lot easier now because I know the AMP group did a lot of work and put a lot of stuff together that made it easier, but before that it was a lot and a little bit overwhelming to try to be able to have those videos ready at hand with just like a copy and paste. But once that's done, it makes it a heck of a lot easier.
Yeah, totally. And you got to put the time into the organization so you can run your business efficiently. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then it's easier, I think, to help you. Because like someone like me who's so new, you know, I'm trying to like absorb everything so quickly, and it's almost like sensory overload sometimes. And it's hard to be able to grow deep when I'm trying to grow wide, and I'm not organized myself, and you can easily get flustered and caught. You know what I'm saying? And all of that. So.
And it's also important if a newer coach is coming in, not to think they have to do what Nicole's doing, because Nicole's been doing this a couple of years, right? Like that's important too, that we stress that. Like there are certain things that coaches who have now established teams will be doing that a coach that's not even Emerald will not have to be doing. So that's also important too. We just keep it basic.
We used to call it paralysis by analysis. So we're like trying to take on too much. We get lost in the weeds.
And then you just freeze and do nothing.
And shut down. Yep.
Yeah. So that's not good either. All right. I think we are good. And one last chance for questions. If not, we're going to wrap up because it's 10 o'clock here. And Nicole, thank you so much. It's been a joy to watch your journey and to watch the lights just like turn on like over the last few months. Like you can see it, like you're like, that's it, I'm done, you know? So what's next? Going forward, what's next, Nicole? Next goal?
My next goal is to get my husband a diamond. Hopefully my goal is by the end of July.
Yep. Yeah, and Mel, talk about where you're at, and Shannon too. Shannon's growing like 500 business centers right now.
Yeah, so I got my 1-star because I grew my husband's business center, and it's really nice for us because every Thursday we get 2 paychecks, not just one. And I remember in the beginning, I was just told, Kristen said, you sign up your husband, that's what you do, and you put him on your week leg, that's what you do. And I did, and I didn't know what the heck I was doing, but I trusted what she said because she had what I wanted, and I'm so freaking grateful that I did, because it could have been just as easy for me to say, well, we don't have the money, or, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing with my own business center. And I'm so grateful that I did, because it makes a huge difference 5 years in. Huge.
Yeah. And Shannon, you too. You want to share?
Sure. If nobody knows, my husband is actually my coach, personally sponsored by David and one of his diamond coaches. And a few years ago, I had to take over his business center because he's a government worker. Long story. So I run his business and mine. And right now we finally have gotten them both back to 1-star diamond. And we are 2 emeralds away from having his business center back to 2-star, which was where we were a few years ago. Taken a little bit of time to fail forward and get that back, because running 3 business centers and having a full-time corporate career is not a joke. But it's extremely rewarding. It's made me be extremely organized, and particular about where I spend my time.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking to a couple of our corporate leaders. That's something that I like to do, is keep in contact with our, corporate zone managers. And I think it's important to have their support as well. And they had asked me an extremely important question, and it was, where do you spend the majority of your time, training or building? And I said, well, if you were to ask me that 4 years ago, it was probably training. Of course, you want to help your coaches grow, but you can't forget to continue to grow yourself. So I have flipped that switch. I know how many resources we have. I know how much we all share and we do together. And we have to be able to rely on each other for that. We have to work together as a team. Otherwise, we are not Team Beachbody, right? So it's important to rely, you have to share yourself too. You have to play a role as well. But you have to always be growing your business.
Yeah. Always pay yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And I got caught up in the opposite. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's very easy, because it's actually easier to do than building your business.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you so much for hopping on. Oh, and Nicole has her son there. Nicole, thank you. You did a great job. Very, very proud of you. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks when we are getting ready to share Kendra's story. We'll be on the Kendra Hall call with Kendra Paul. This is funny.
It is Kendra Hall with Kendra Paul.
It's funny. You want to know what's funny? It's funny listening to you try and say it.
Kendra Hall call with guest speaker Kendra Paul. Like, that's so funny.
Yeah.
All right, I'm delirious because it's 10 o'clock and we got to go to bed. You guys are awesome. We love you, and
Have a good night, everybody. Recording will be up tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Mwah.